Good morning. Now then, it's time for another video. And last year and the year before, I think probably the year before that as well, we've been walking the Penistone route. That's the Huddersfield Line. Now, I've walked it all the way in sections from here to Ashton-under-Lyne, but there's one omission, and that is from Manchester Victoria to Ashton-under-Lyne, or vice versa. So we're going to do that today and then nip on to Chinley. Hopefully, so that's what I've got a ticket for, Cottingley to Chinley. So we'll get the next train here now, which will be coming in shortly. I'll spin around and switch cameras. So this is our first train of the day, 8:52 from here to Huddersfield. So we'll go as far as Dewsbury with this one, and then we can either get on the Penistone one behind it to Liverpool Lime Street, or we can get the one by the Calder Valley to Wigan as far as Victoria as well. So that's the idea. That's the plan. Just leaving Cottingley now, and like I say, we'll go to Dewsbury with this one, and then we've got a better chance. If there's a problem with the Wigan service, we can get the Liverpool train, hopefully, which will be a bit quicker anyway. I would like to go back Calder Valley just to you can see where they're building the White Rose station shortly, just down here after the viaduct. Clearer.
The next stop will be Morley.
Nothing much has been done with the path here, it's quite overgrown, is that there now? Coming up to Batley now. I don't know what they're doing here, but if they're putting a third track in, it's got to be a good idea as that. So I've suggested that a few times. I did an up slow line here at platform 3 at Batley. It's just so convenient with that. The capacity would increase. It would be great. Right, we're approaching Dewsbury, so we're going to jump out here. You can see where the old central station
We'll
is just
shortly
over
be
there.
arriving at Dewsbury. If you're leaving the train, take a moment to check you have everything with you. Don't forget any bags or cases in the luggage racks or under seats, and retain your tickets as they may be required if exiting this station.
Ooh. Car park's back in use, all the COVID nonsense is gone. There's one coming down. That'll be the down stopper, won't it? I would think that. Yeah, 909 from here. The one we've just got off is about to block the view. That'd be 921 off Cottingley, that one. Oh, that was good timing. The up, halt to Piccadilly. There's a down service shortly. The opposite direction is going to use the centre road. And here's the down service towards Hull. Is this a double formation or not? No, it's not, it's a single formation. now 158, so we'll get on this train and go through to Manchester Victoria. Then we shall walk to Ashton-under-Lyne to cover the last section. So it's a former ScotRail one, 158756. Right, it's leaving Dewsbury.
This is the northern service to Wigan North Western. The next stop is Burfield.
So, L&Y service via Brighouse and Ebden Bridge. This is the second one of two trains we used to actually have at Cottingley before they altered it, took them off us. It used to be an 818 and a 918, didn't they, I think, from Cottingley a few years ago. Right, we're taking the main line now, that's the route to Huddersfield. The up line, down line goes underneath shortly. Heaton Lodge Junction. That's the down line there, that's the only original bit of Leeds new line that's still in use. See where the old slow lines were here at one time. The A62 next, which is there, and on the opposite side you'll see Cooper Bridge Scrapyard, and there's something notable about that now. That is where Peter Sutcliffe stole a set of number plates from to put on his car just before he got caught in 1981. Approaching Hebden Bridge now. The loop doesn't look very well used. I said loop, it's a siding, isn't it now? It's not a loop anymore. It'd be very handy if they had connected it, reconnected it at the other end. But signal box is still standing, even though it's not in use anymore. To Todmorden now. Town looks busy. Market's on. We might have a few minutes to wait here, but they always do. This is where you could just absorb this 4 or 5 minute sit here by calling it Cottingley and Ravensthorpe, but for whatever reason they just don't want to do it. So annoying. Coming into Manchester Victoria now, that is the remains of the old Cheetham Hill line, which hasn't been used for quite some time. 25, 26 years I think. We're going in on platform 5 I would imagine, which is behind us. Right, Manchester Victoria, we've done it. This is going to continue to Wigan shortly. Let's head out now. Right, we're at Manchester Victoria now, and we're outside the station. We're going to walk to Ashton-under-Lyne. This will cover the final section of the Diggle route from Leeds to here, walking it. So let's head up this way now and make a start. Switch cameras. Link of course here. This is the original route, just here, from day one in 1992, and obviously looking to Victoria Station there. And this is looking, the left goes up Balloon Street towards Piccadilly more directly, And the later route there, of course, serves Exchange Square. And there's one just coming down actually now. Look. So we'll film that. I'm hoping this walk will take us about 2.5 to 3 hours. Don't think it should take us much above that. So if I can get 14:02 at Ashton-under-Lyne, it will do it. The original plan was for 15:02. There's only one train an hour at Ashton-under-Lyne. So it's a Rochdale via Oldham service that tends to use this line, this new route via Exchange Square. There's one coming out as well. It's quite a complex layout there. You've got full access from all platforms to all destinations and from all destinations using the points, because this is another one via, yeah, it's East Didsbury, it's Exchange Square, so that's doing the same route coming out. That'll be from Rochdale, I would think. Oh, it's just a single unit on its own, that one. Anyway, we need to be up this way now to head over to Ashton-under-Lyne. There's a lot of construction going on in Manchester. Some buildings are quite old, some are more modern. We won't be filming all of it, of course, here, because a lot of it actually is street walking, but there are some sections where we'll be on footpaths. On the A62 now, so this is actually the forerunner of the M62 in effect, because it's the same road that goes all the way to Huddersfield and Leeds. It is. So we're going on here for a few mile or two towards Miles Platting, and then we'll turn to the right. A62, and on the right here now is roughly where Manchester Oldham Road station was. Long gone. If I'm not much mistaken, I think that was an L&Y station, but correct me if I'm wrong. See, it wasn't in use for very long until they built Victoria and Exchange. So, familiar territory here anyway, because I've done rail replacement buses along here quite often with John Rigby's and CT Plus and whatever else. Godson's probably as well. Let's cross it over quickly. We'll see if we can get something here. There's a freight, I think, going around the far side, around that sharp curve. Because this is where Miles Platting, oh, that's the Wigan Leeds, I think, is that one. This Miles Platting station now would have been about here, but it's all gone. So if we were doing this walk about 30 odd years ago or more, we'd have to tick off Miles Plattingham Park. But as I say, they've gone now, so we don't need to worry about them too. Miles Platting closed first in, was it 1993? I think 1995 saw the end of Park. But there's so little reason for them being now around here that they stopped them. You'll see the freight on the far side there taking that sharp curve. Because it's come that really long way around via Knutsford and Altrincham, Stockport, Denton, and now it's facing back towards Liverpool. And this curve, which you can see the bridge at the far side, is where it turns onto the Calder Valley. Just so it avoids the stiff climb up Miles Platting Bank, that's all it's for. If they'd kept the line through Cheetham Hill that way, it seems a bit easier now, can't you? It's cool under here. So yes, it's Liverpool Docks to Drax Power Station. We're full of biomass, I think. Turn right here now, onto Grimshaw Lane. and we'll head towards Park. It was on tickets as Park Manchester, wasn't it, I think? And yes, I have stopped at both those stations that's disused, but I never got off at them because I didn't realise they were going to shut them until it was too late. So I head down here now. I should see the canal soon as well. Right, we're on canal now. Yeah. So you can see there's a bridge down there, which is the high-sided bridge where the railway goes over. And let's keep going. You can get onto it just there, actually. I wasn't so sure you could do. Anyway, so I was like to have walked under that bridge, but we missed the opportunity to do that. There is where Park Station was, just up to the left. And you can see where that height limit sign is. There's actually an access that's been blocked up. So the further bridge further down is the line from Bagley Fold round to Phillips Park South, I think it is. So we're going up here now and turn the next right and continue. Right, we're coming up to Bagley Fold Junction now. There's a bridge underneath the railway which we'll take and then turn left shortly after that onto our first footpath. Okay, so let's keep going. Right next to Bagley Fold Junction, which is just up to the right. Actually, it might be underneath it. The junction might be just to the left. It's quite a long bridge, is that, for just 2 tracks? I think it might be just to the left. Anyway, there's some paths to walk on now, just down there. So head over that shortly. See viaduct in front of us here. Doesn't ring any bells on that. There's no track on it. So I'll go through here now to the park. It comes out near Clayton Bridge Crossing. So I might have a few minutes at Clayton Bridge Crossing and chill for a bit. See on there where we are. Oh, bike tracks as well here. Anyway, we'll head down this way. Absolute bliss in here it is now, isn't it? Away from all the traffic. The railway is just up to the right, out of sight of the trees. And the River Medlock is down to the left, which you may see shortly. This is much better than walking along the roads, but unfortunately we've not been able to get away from the roads until now. Oh, I said the River Medlock, my word, it's only a stream here rather than a river. That might have something to do with the fact that we're in drought, so I must have been surprised that any water in it at all, to be quite honest. There it is, it's just down there. There's a waterfall a bit further up ahead. It's not deep enough to swim in though. Yes, that's the River Medlock. Quite close to the railway here now, and you can see there's a signal just there. The over extensions, it's on with the electrification of the Deal route. So not far from Clayton Bridge Crossing, where Clayton Bridge Station used to be. Not sure if there's a station at Droylsden, but oh, doubling back here.
I go down that way, I think. Let's have 5. Right, let's hope this is the right way. So it was a bit unclear, that path previous. I was wondering why these picnic tables have an overhang, which doesn't seem to make a right lot of sense earlier. But I think you'll find it's for kids in pushchairs or wheelchairs. I don't know. Can we get any more PC? There's that one there and there's the one just down there where we were at earlier. So let's keep going down here, and this should bring us out by Clayton Bridge level crossing. Afternoon. Oh, yeah, it is afternoon. Just. Right, here we are. This is Clayton Bridge level crossing, and I think the barriers are down, so you just heard the alarm a few moments ago. There's nothing on the up all the way back to Huddersfield. So, let's see what this one is that's coming through. I think it'll be Manchester Airport to Retca Central. We're going to go across here anyway and then just turn left a bit higher, turn right a bit higher up. Modern flashing lights. And it is. Yep. Retca Central, double formation. And they've got overheads as well. Ready to... Yeah. That was good timing. So that's looking back towards Manchester Vic. And that's looking towards Stalybridge, another Staley. So, used to be 4-track width here as well, years ago. Right, so you can still see level crossing down there, which we've just crossed over. And there's nothing due for a bit now. Let's go up here, turn right. We're over halfway now anyway, I think over a good 4 miles in. Cross over when we can and head down there. Down this way. Oh, it's a burst of water there, I think. Hiya. Right, we just walked up there and we're going to turn down this path here. Thought it was a bit overgrown actually, but it's not too bad. It's coming out into the open. Here we are. This will take us down towards the Medlock again. A bit overgrown back there, but anyway, we're on the right path now. And this is going to take us over the River Medlock. Little bit of water in it. A lot. Oh, it's a bit more up on this side. Wonder how deep it gets in flood. Can't see any obvious debris on the trees, can we? Oh, somebody's cut a tree here. Fallen down here, somebody's cut a hole, cut a gap in it. Yeah. Tree falling across and somebody took a circular saw. It's great, is that? Right, we're just on a bridge here by not far from Droylsden, I think. And that is the Manchester Airport service. It's a little late. It's about quarter of an hour down. But I thought we'd just see that. Anyway, let's see if we can go down here now and turn left. There looks like a sort of scatty path. Whether it really is a path or not, I don't know. Might have to double back and come back to the downside. Oh, I think we get down there very easily. No problem. Some blackberries on the left here, but we've got to start picking blackberries. Right, another footbridge here. This is a bit skinnier. Very skinny footbridge. In fact, I wouldn't mind betting that this gets changed to a more substantial bridge once it's wired. So looking again towards Stalybridge and Huddersfield and back to Manchester Vic. Doesn't look like it's going to be that long now before they put some wires on here. It's definitely well on with it. Yeah. This is the Stalybridge turnback from Southport. Only one northern service per hour on this line now, yeah. There used to be two. In fact, I think even at one point there was three. Anyway, let's keep going now, because we're well over halfway now, about 2/3. We just need to cross the motorway next. So there's a right turn just a bit further up here. So just come from down there where the bridge is just out of sight to the left, and there's an old canal here which has long since been filled in, I would think. So if we can get over to the right here now, there's a road that we can walk on just a bit further up. Yeah, down that way and to the left. So the canal, or what's left of it's just down there. In fact, I think there might be something of the canal there. No, you can't quite see. Right, slight change of plan. We're walking down here now. So you can see where all these reeds are. That's where the canal used to be. It might be a bit wet in there, possibly. This has not been used for absolutely years. It's completely filled in down there. We'll take the next right up here. And we'll it's minimally longer if it is at all. So we've got virtually an hour to the minute to get to Ashton-under-Lyne for 14:02, and it's on time from Southport. Okay, this quaint little bridge. So I'm going to go over the bridge to the right now. That is, there's more silt in that than, well, no water at all, is there? Anyway, let's go through this little gap. Oh, it's quite open and plain down there, isn't it? Anyway, let's get over the bridge to the right. That looks rather foreboding. Anyway, it's down here now, there's a little gap. You know, it's fact discriminating, is this, isn't it? I can get through, and I'm still a bit overweight, but anyone seriously overweight would struggle there. So, straight down here to the road. Right, we've just come out there. If we'd have walked the other way, we'd have come down the road there. So, Straight down here now, and there's a right turn further up. Another footpath. Bus stop's very handy here, isn't it? So we just walked down there and turned right into this road. This is Buckley Hill Farm now we're heading for. We're running parallel with the M60, which is over there behind those trees. So we're going to turn left a bit further up here and then we'll cross over it. And looking to the right, you should see the railway bridge. So the railway bridge was put in long before the motorway was actually constructed. It was because they knew where it was going to go, so they put the railway bridge in first and just built the motorway underneath it. Coming up to the M60 now, just past that farm. Look at the view, magnificent view. So we've just come through there past that farm and now we're heading up towards the motorway. It's less than 30 years old, I know that, because it wasn't here in 1992. I think it was towards the end of the 90s when they put this in, but do correct me if I'm wrong. All I can safely say was it was built between 1992 and 2002. Because I think it was in use before my father died. This is the M60. So that's looking northwards towards the M62. And that's looking south towards the M56 in Stockport. In fact, there was a tram there, wasn't there, just in the distance, the far distance. The bridge just ahead there now is the Stalybridge to Manchester Vic line. We haven't really got time to wait for anything to cross it, so let's keep going straight down now. Just about finished with paths now, I think. And we're not much above a mile away from Ashton-under-Lyne. We've done this a lot quicker than I expected. We're still over half an hour. About 40 minutes to get to Ashton station for the train, just a short distance to Stalybridge, and hopefully we can get one to Piccadilly from there, get the Chinley train. That's the plan. Beautiful here. Let's get to the station before we start having any more breaks. Right, about to cross the railway again. Lost count how many times we've crossed it. We're just to the east side of Ashton Moss North Junction. Where we are now. So we're not very far away from Ashton-under-Lyne at all now. I can just see the junction, it's here. There used to be a signal box there, and the line towards Manchester Vic actually went round the back of the box. It did. Oh yeah, it is. This is it. This is Ashton Moss North. I think it's just called Ashton Moss Junction now, but it's been smoothed out and streamlined for higher speed running. And they've obviously prepared this bridge for overhead wires with these little additional bits on top. So yeah, the line there goes down to Denton and Stockport, and the main line is here near to us. So looking the other way, that's the main line to Stalybridge, and a bit further over. You see it's a bit easier because obviously it's not electrified, this one. It was partly electrified, this line, because it was part of the overhead Woodhead electrification, and there's still an odd stanchion there. You can see that curves round sharply round to the right. There was a curve the other way, which was OA and GB junction to Ashton Moss South. That has long since gone. Sadly, I never did that bit of the line alongside the Metro link now, so not very far at all. This is the Ashton Moss Denton line again. You can see down there. They're actually wanting to get a service from Stockport into Manchester Victoria, which I call it Ready South and Denton. But if it's only 1 hour, I was thinking it wouldn't be worth it, because there's buses from Denton. I don't know about Ready South, but there's certainly buses from the Denton area quite close to the station every 10-12 minutes into Manchester city centre. So to my way of thinking, it wouldn't, perhaps just in peak hours. You'd need it every half hour at least to make it worthwhile. There's IKEA up there on the left, which we have been in the past, I think, a couple of times. There's a bus station and Metrolink interchange just there. That is the terminus of the Metrolink from Manchester. This don't go any further, and I don't have any plans to take it any further. So it's literally just another few hundred yards and we've done it. We have walked the entire route from Manchester Vic to Leeds via Diggle. So this is literally the last little bit. Here we are, Ashton-under-Lyne. So we've even got about 20 minutes to spare. Can't believe this. Let's get on the station and we'll scoff that sandwich. Not a new tick, of course, because we have done this station a few times in the past. But this is another section we've covered, and we've covered the whole line now between Manchester Vic and Leeds via Diggle and Huddersfield and Dewsbury. I suppose we should turn our attention to the Calder Valley next, shouldn't we? Here we are. So the platform on the left's what we want for Stalybridge. It's just a short distance to Stalybridge, then we're going to Piccadilly if we can, hopefully, and then get a train to Chinley. Oh dear, done it. It's on time, 14:02, 20 minutes to spare, just over. Well, that's it, we have done it. We have walked it all the way between Leeds and Manchester Vic. Not right now, we're just on Manchester Vic to here, but yeah, we've covered the whole of this route now, walking. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll have to do a separate video and line up all the walks that we've done. Sometimes we've walked in the up direction, sometimes we've walked in the down direction. This is the down direction we've just done now, so anyway, let's have a few minutes rest before the train comes in, okay? Right, our train is approaching. Southport to Stalybridge, and we're just going to ride it for the last little bit just into Stalybridge. It should do platform 5, I think, at Stalybridge. So as book 156460 for just one stop to Stalybridge. Just leaving Ashton-under-Lyne. It's on the opposite side, of course. There's no stanchions here yet, but there are some fixings for them. Just dropping down to Stalybridge now. Yep, we've got platform 5 there on the indicator, so we're using that new bay platform. Those hills over there. That's the next goal, is doing something like Mosley to Edale or whatever. Right, Stalybridge. Oh, is that one to Piccadilly over there? It could be the Hull train, that one, I think. Anyway, we don't need to rush. It's a shame that the Stockport service, but anyway, there was a few got off that one actually from what's it? Let's nip into the buffet for a moment. The Stalybridge buffet now, and there's a lot of railway signs and memorabilia here from various places. There is. So I'll give you a full 360 there, as good as, haven't we? Yeah, this is our next train. And I think it's going to go around at the platform 1, actually, round to the right. Yes, it is doing. So let's get over to the other side.
Yeah, you get him. This side. It's coming here.
And just look at them hills up there. What a background that is. So I'll take this one to Piccadilly. You get the Chinley train from there. Right, we're coming up to Fairfield and we're on the wrong side, of course, so whether we'll actually stop here, but no, because I've been led to believe we are doing. If we do, we can simply walk over to Reddish North. Fairfield. It's about time there's a regular service, small stations. Maybe not necessarily Hardwick, but certainly all stations, Manchester Pig, Stalybridge. First time on a Trans-Pennine service, so we've got off at Fairfield. So I don't know how long it's going to be here before it moves anywhere else, but we're going to now walk over to Reddish North for the next Sheffield train. Right, we're at Reddish North. We walked it from Fairfield. I didn't record much of that walk really at all because I was walking with someone else and a few other passengers because of the screw up with the TPE service. Anyway, our next train now that we want is approaching, and it is a Sheffield service. It's originally the one I was intent on getting had we have stuck to the original plan, but we're now back on what would be the original plan, which would have been getting 1502 at Ashton into Stalybridge, Stalybridge to Piccadilly, and now on this one. So at least we have a chance of getting to Henshall's before it closes. And then we'll get the East Midlands service at Chinley on to Sheffield. So this is a new one. It is 195-107 on its own. So let's get on it and get to Chinley. Right. Chinley. Not a tick, we've done it 100 times before. So let's see if we can get to Henshall's before it closes. Heading off to Sheffield. Let's get to Henshall's now. Let's hope they're open. They should be up till 5. We've been here a few times in the past, haven't we? So let's see if we've got any burgers left. Oh yeah, still open. Right, I just had a pint there in the, what's it called, the Chinley Bar and Lounge. Slightly inebriated, but that's a nice way of saying piss, isn't it? He's inebriated. Anyway, we'll get back to the station now, and hopefully we'll get this 1709 Norwich service. But I am not going to Grantham like I did last time and all the way fast to York, and no way, that'll far too long. So just to Sheffield to Leeds, and Leeds to Cottingley, hopefully. Let's switch cameras, let's do it. Right, here we are, 1709, which is virtually on time. 1709 now, so we'll go to Sheffield with this one. Wish a few more of these stopped here. It'd be very handy if they did. I was expecting to get a seat on here. 4-minute connection or 5-minute connection in Sheffield for Leeds, so we'll see how far we go with this one. Probably Leeds, but we might jump off at Wakefield Kirk if we get the Grand Central across to Murfield. So let's keep going. The battery's almost out now, so we'll just have to do what we can, keep going what we can. Okay, once there's ever battery in the phone. Right, we just jumped off this one at Wakefield Kirk, so we're going to go over to platform 3 now for the Grand Central service across to Murfield. I wasn't going to risk a 3-minute connection with that. We might have done it, but you can never tell. A little bit easier on Grand Central and going via Murfield. We don't get the chance to do it very often, so that's what we're going to do. Right, this is our penultimate train of today. Grand Central service to Bradford. Just going one stop with it. I was hoping to get on this at Doncaster, but we failed to do that because we were delayed and ended up going back on the original service we planned to from Chinley to Sheffield. We managed to do a quick connection in Sheffield with the Lincoln Leeds, and now we're on this one. Whether the battery will last all the way to Murfield and Cottingley, I don't know, we'll see. We've got the fast line, so that's great. Back at Cottingley, I've had to just switch to the iPad for the last shot now. So we'll let this train play us out, and then we'll head home. It's not as easy to hold in the iPad. Right, we managed to get back. If we'd have stayed on that one at Wakefield Kirk and not got off it into Leeds, we would have just made that 3 or 4 minute connection. But as it happens, we decided to go via Murfield. Right, well anyway, that's it for today now, so end of video, cue music, bye for now.